Philip DeFranco's show, you daily dive into the news. It is Tuesday, and there is a lot to talk about, starting with this. You've got big Candace Owens, Brigitte Macron news. But also I'll say it's bigger than Owens, because right now you have 10 people in France on trial for harassing Brigitte Macron with debunked conspiracies that say she's transgender. Right? Brigitte, she's the first lady of France. We've talked about these conspiracies before, and that's largely because Candace Owens just kind of exploded the reach of these claims recently. But even though Candace might be one of the most vocal personalities on this, she's not the first person to spread this theory. And with that, back in 2024, Brigitte's lawyer filed complaints over cyberbullying, which eventually led to multiple arrests in 2025. And so now you've got nearly a dozen people facing a 2-day trial over claims that they made regarding her gender and sexuality, as well as equating the age gap in her relationship with President Emmanuel Macron to pedophilia. And with that, you had a judge saying that these posts have deteriorated the First Lady's physical and mental health. Right? And according to reports, the accused include a self-described medium who played a major role in spreading the theory after posting a 4-hour YouTube video about the subject in 2021. This along with others, including an elected official, teacher, and computer scientist. But also, reportedly, many of the accused are arguing that they were just joking about this and they don't belong in court over their thing. It was just a joke. Like a lot of people, I'm asking why I'm here today. Today, you can send people to court for tweets. And another asking, do you need a permit in France to crack a joke? Right? Even though this trial is just 2 days, a verdict isn't expected until later. But also understand this is a criminal proceeding. So if they're convicted, they could go to jail for up to 2 years. Right? And this is definitely not the only legal action that the Macrons have taken over these trans conspiracies. One of the reasons we've talked about it is in July, they sued Candace Owens for defamation for repeatedly claiming that Brigitte was born male. But also, that hasn't stopped Candace from continuing to spread that theory, right? I mean, as recently as this weekend, she was posting more what she called evidence to back her claims on Twitter. And then actually, the day the trial in Paris started, she wrote, "If it walks like a dude, talks like a dude, and is listed in the French tax registry as a dude, then it's the first dude of France." Right? So she appears to just definitely not be stopping, and the Macrons as well, they're not backing down from their fight. And in fact, with that, just last month, you had BBC News reporting that they would be presenting photographic and scientific evidence to a US court to prove that Brigitte is a woman. You had their lawyers saying it is a process that she will have to subject herself to in a very public way, but
Okay guys, we're watching videos and I'm trying some new things that I got today. I got this yerba mate eye gel. I've already used it before. I know I really like it, and Ryder just handed me my yerba mate drink, and I'm gonna put yerba mate on my eyes and I'm gonna drown in yerba mate and it's gonna be great. Anyways, hi, hello.
but she's willing to do it. She is firmly resolved to do what it takes to set the record straight. If that unpleasantness and that discomfort that she has of opening herself up in that way is what it takes to set a record straight and stop this, she 100% is ready to meet that burden. But with all that, you have some seeing this explosion of people that are believing this conspiracy theory and arguing that it speaks to larger trends and issues that we need to care about. With, for example, a professor at the University of Portsmouth in the UK saying, "These rumors are part of the broader wars on truth that characterize much of today's political discourse," and saying they are primarily a partisan political phenomenon designed to weaken opponents in a erode their legitimacy. But for now, we're gonna have to wait to see what happens with this 2-day trial, as well as what happens with Candace Owens. But the next up in the news, Texas AG Ken Paxton has now filed a lawsuit claiming that the makers of Tylenol actually knowingly withheld evidence of the drug's links to neurodevelopmental disorder. But of course, right, these links, they're unproven right now. And so this just seems to kind of be the latest fallout from Donald Trump claiming that autism can be caused by pregnant women taking Tylenol, which of course goes by the non-brand name
acetaminophen, Is that okay?
Right, and the companies named in Paxton's complaint are Johnson & Johnson, which sold Tylenol for decades, and Kenvue, which is a spin-off company that's sold the drug since 2023. And then with that, you had a spokesperson for Johnson & Johnson noting that the company divested its consumer health business years ago and added all rights and liabilities associated with the sale of its over-the-counter products, including Tylenol, are owned by Kenvue. So actually, with that, Paxton's lawsuit also claims that this is the real reason that Kenvue was created, to shield Johnson & Johnson from liability over Tylenol. Though I will say, Paxton has provided no evidence of that at this point, and when Johnson & Johnson first announced a spinoff in 2021, they said that it was just a business decision. Right, and with that, I do think that it should be noted there is other stuff and controversies involving Johnson & Johnson, where the company also recently dealt with massively expensive lawsuits over its role in the opioid epidemic and accusations that talc, once used in its baby powder, caused cancer. And then you had the Tylenol lawsuits, kind of picking up steam in 2022, with hundreds being filed in state and federal courts by families who claim that their children were diagnosed with autism or ADHD after use of Tylenol during pregnancy. In New York, a judge dismissed the biggest batch, more than 500 of them, back in 2023, citing a lack of scientific evidence. But now you've got those plaintiffs appealing the decision, and a hearing's actually scheduled for November 17th. Now, of course, one of the big key differences is you have the President of the United States and RFK Jr. openly discouraging pregnant women from taking Tylenol due to the risk of causing autism. Right? And they both pointed to the same study now being cited in Paxton's lawsuit, a research review which looked at 46 studies and found evidence of a link. But also, a very big thing is that even the researchers who conducted that review cautioned that their findings were not conclusive. And with that, they advised that Tylenol may still be used, but no more than necessary. Right? And so that's what standard medical advice here is already anyway. Right? And then also with that, another major study of nearly 2.5 million children born in Sweden found that any potential link disappears when accounting for genetics. And so with this, independent experts and major medical groups have not stopped recommending Tylenol, noting that it's considered the only pain reliever safe to use during pregnancy to treat high fevers. Right? And we know, without a doubt, if those high fevers are untreated, they can pose serious risks to the health of the baby and the mother. But still, you've had Trump doubling down on this, writing on Truth Social over the weekend, pregnant women don't use Tylenol unless absolutely necessary. Don't give Tylenol to your young children for virtually any reason. But then next up in the news, Trump is trying to rig California's special election. Right, that is what top officials, including Governor Gavin Newsom, are saying just days before people head out to the polls to vote on Prop 50. Right, and Prop 50 would allow the state to redraw its congressional maps to give Democrats 5 more seats in the House and counter Trump's sweeping campaign to gerrymander more Republican seats in red states. And specifically, you're seeing the allegations of interference coming after Trump's DOJ announced that it'll be sending federal election monitors to 5 counties in California that together make up more than 40% of the state's population. We're talking Los Angeles, Orange County, Riverside, Fresno, and Kern. Right, and that announcement coming after the California Republican Party chair sent a letter to the department requesting the monitors, claiming that the party had, quote, received reports of irregularities in those 5 counties during recent elections, and arguing that those alleged irregularities could undermine either the willingness of voters to participate in the election or their confidence in the announced results of the election. Now with this, I'll say federal monitoring is a routine part of elections, particularly federal elections. But you've got experts saying that the issues flagged in the California GOP's letter, they don't seem to fall under federal jurisdiction because they concern state law and state elections. Right? The federal government, it's not the place where you go to bring state level concerns. Those complaints should go to the California Attorney General's office and California Secretary of State. But also, in addition to that, experts have questioned whether the DOJ has adequately explained why federal election monitors are actually needed in California. Right? Instead, they've just regurgitated the same points that the state GOP has made. And that's actually something you saw echoed by Governor Newsom in a recent interview.
The DOJ just sent out election monitors for a state ballot, for a state constitution. They have no basis, and they have no business for doing that.
And Newsom, he did not mince words about how he views this effort.
They're rigging the election. They're creating the pretext that after we're successful with Prop 50, after there's a Democratic governor in New Jersey, there will be one in Virginia, unquestionably, that they can suggest somehow these were fraudulent. These elections were rigged against them. This is a preview of 2026. Wake up, everybody. I mean, what more? They're just doing it in the open. They're doing it out loud. He's not just trolling you.
But also, it's not just Newsom, right? You also had California Attorney General Rob Bonta telling reporters that he believes the Trump administration will use false reports of voting irregularities to try to challenge the outcome of the election. Right? And Bonta claiming that there's not evidence of widespread fraud that would require federal election monitors. And then with that saying, it's naive to think that Trump will accept the results given his long history of lying about elections. And so now, in response, the state AG said that California will be dispatching its own observers to watch the federal monitors. Right? So all of it just screams of a healthy democracy, right? Needing a second second set of observers to watch a first set of observers who seem to have been sent just to intimidate voters. But also, beyond that, like Newsom, Bonta argued that this is just the beginning, saying all indications, all arrows show that this is a tee-up for something more dangerous in the 2026 midterms and maybe beyond. And with that, you had the AG specifically pointing to a post that Trump made on Truth Social over the weekend, clearly trying to undermine the election from a different front, right? And it's not new, but saying without evidence that Democrats were, quote, cheating on elections and repeating the false claim that he beat Biden in 2020. With Trump also going on to say that unless the DOJ cracks down, it will happen again, including the upcoming midterms, and then adding no mail-in or early voting, yes to voter ID. Watch how totally dishonest the California prop vote is. Millions of ballots being shipped. Get smart, Republicans, before it's too late. Now, of course, with that, there is literally zero proof of any fraud or anything even vaguely dishonest with the early and mail-in voting on Prop 50. And there's nothing wrong with millions of ballots being shipped to voters. California law literally requires all registered voters to be sent ballots. And all of this, as Trump's message urging people not to vote early or by mail, it directly contradicts the official messaging of the California GOP, which has encouraged Republican voters to do exactly that. Right? So it's clear what he's doing. Like, we've seen this exact playbook before. There's no guesswork involved. Trump and co, they're sowing the seeds to subvert democracy and undermine the will of the people, and California is just a taste, a preview. So, for now, we're gonna have to wait to see what happens, though. Just to add my 2 cents, I've said this and I still stand by it. If you live in California, you are a California voter, I highly recommend you go out and vote in this election because the stakes truly couldn't be higher. There are very few options right now on how people can actually resist what appears to be Trump's authoritarian takeover of the government, and this is one of them. I hate that it is at this place. In an ideal world, nationwide, we have third-party lines being made. It's as fair as possible. But when Trump, others, really whoever in life just throw out the rule book and they're going power by any means necessary, you can't tie your hands behind your back to act like the situation's normal. This is not normal. Right? I know I try to keep an even tone through everything. It's my presentation style. You are not crazy for feeling like everything is crazy right now. But you are crazy if you think things are going to go a positive way if you don't do something when you can. Going to the ballot box is one of those ways. And here, not only will your vote help determine control of the House in 2026 to combat what Trump's trying to do with gerrymandering and redistricting, it'll also set the tone and possibly give us a glimpse into what Trump's inevitable efforts to deny the outcome of certain midterm elections looks like. And then we're diving into even more in just a minute. But first, let me say, you ever notice how you'll spend an hour scrolling for a good brunch spot, but booking a doctor, suddenly you're too busy? Because yeah, same, until I finally got my life together with today's sponsor, ZocDoc. Because ZocDoc is a free app and website where you can search and compare high-quality in-network doctors and click to instantly book an appointment. Like, seriously, you can search and compare over 100,000 in-network doctors across every specialty: mental health, dental, primary care, urgent care, all of it. You can filter by location, insurance, and ratings from verified patients, so you actually get a doctor that fits your needs. And once you find them, you can see their real-time appointment openings and instantly click to book. No phone tag, no hold music, just done. And the best part? Appointments happen fast, often within 24 to 72 hours, and sometimes even same day. I mean, it's the right kind of shortcut because taking care of yourself shouldn't feel like a chore. I personally use it, I personally love it, and honestly, it's made booking care feel less like a task and more like a relief. So hey, stop putting off all those doctor's appointments, scan the QR code, or go to ZocDoc.com/Phil to find and instantly book a top-rated doctor today. That's ZocDoc.com/Phil, ZocDoc.com/Phil. But then next up in the news, Musk just dropped his latest project called Grokpedia, which is a competitor to Wikipedia, but instead of crowdsourcing information, Grokpedia's articles are created using Musk's XAI and their chatbot, formerly known as Mecha Hitler. Right, and this whole idea appears to have actually been born a month ago when Musk made an appearance on the All In podcast hosted by David Sachs, where he was singing Grok's praises.
If you take, say, Wikipedia as an example, but this really applies to books, PDFs, websites, every form of information. Grok is using heavy amounts of inference compute to look at, as an example, a Wikipedia page and say, what is true, partially true, or false, or missing in this page? Now rewrite the page to remove the falsehoods, correct the half-truths, and add the missing context.
Elon, by the way, could you just publish that? Could we create like a Grokpedia?
With Sachs going on to say that something like this is necessary because he says that Wikipedia has become heavily partisan and, quote, full of activists, which is a cause that Musk himself has taken up this year, saying that Wikipedia is too woke and generally disparaging what he called an extension of legacy media propaganda. But since that moment with David Sachs, the idea of Grokpedia very quickly snowballed into a reality. And you've had Musk saying that it's super important for civilization and a necessary step towards the XAI goal of understanding the universe. Right? And as far as how it works exactly, there are still a lot of unanswered questions. So obviously, the big difference is the lack of apparent human authors, with Grokpedia saying that their articles are, quote, fact-checked by Grok, something that's sparked some concern because large language models like Grok have been known to hallucinate or make up facts. But even with those questions and concerns going largely unaddressed, the first iteration of Grokopedia went live yesterday with its homepage touting some 885,000 articles. And just for comparison's sake, Wikipedia's English version has more than 7 million pages. But that said, right off the bat, there have been some issues. First up, the launch was delayed by about a week, with Musk saying they had to, quote, do more work to purge out the propaganda. And then when the site did launch yesterday, it crashed within hours before coming back up last night. But the big thing that people are talking about is the content of these articles. Because wouldn't you know it, some of these articles, they seem to skew in favor of Musk's recent views and just right-wing talking points in general. So for example, with the entry about January 6th, you have Grokopedia saying it happened, quote, amid widespread claims of voting irregularities, before then going on to say the events of that day fueled enduring disputes over its nature, ranging from a legitimate expression of grievances against perceived electoral flaws to a premeditated threat to democratic transfer of power, with mainstream accounts often amplifying casualty figures and intent beyond forensic evidence while downplaying antecedent failures in election oversight and riot containment. Right? And then there's the expansive entry on Musk himself, which has flowery things to say like, quote, his public persona blends innovative visionary with irreverent provocateur. And all of this is, some journalists have already pointed out, some blatantly incorrect information that's been included, like the entry claiming that pornography made the AIDS epidemic worse. And that is despite Elon's promises of Grokopedia being, quote, the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. Right? And then in addition to that, there's also the fact that many have pointed out that some of Grokopedia's articles seem to be verbatim copies of the corresponding Wikipedia articles. For example, Stephen Harrison, a journalist and author who has covered Wikipedia extensively, pointing out that there were concerns leading up to the launch that something like this would happen. Right? Saying every major AI system trains on Wikipedia's freely licensed knowledge. The irony is that Grokopedia will be built on the unpaid labor of the volunteer Wikipedia editors that Musk has gone out of his way to vilify. And all of this, as you might imagine, the reception to Grokopedia has been mixed, with it definitely having some big fans over on X, but also facing some heated criticism in other parts of the internet. But with all this, you have Musk calling this iteration of Grokopedia the 0.1 version and promising that the 1.0 version will be even better. Ultimately, that is where we are, and it will be interesting to see what sort of impact this has. Right? Does Grokopedia get widespread usage? What does that do? Especially because we live in a world where a billionaire and Elon Musk purchased the town square and buying Twitter, and now I guess is making a history book for people that ask Grok, is this real? Well, I don't think it's gonna be a net positive. At the very least, like a lot of things these days, it will be interesting. But then next up in the news, if you've been paying attention to what's happening in cities across the country recently, you've seen that a lot of people are just not happy with ICE.
Shame, 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 shame. You, this is what you're gonna be remembered for, asshole.
How do you go to sleep at night?
Show your face! Show your face, you coward!
But also, with all that, there's a very surprising person who's also upset about immigration enforcement, and that is Donald Trump. Because Trump and the White House, they're reportedly frustrated that they're not being aggressive enough. Right? I mean, back in May, Deputy Chief of Staff Stephen Miller reportedly berated and threatened to fire senior immigration officials unless they started arresting 3,000 migrants a day.
And President Trump is going to keep pushing to get that number up higher each and every single day. And we can't take the risk of letting these Biden illegals roam around freely so that the next American daughter can get raped, the next American kid can get murdered.
And while the arrest numbers actually shot up after those comments to more than 2,000 a day, they've since dropped to less than 1,200 as of late last month. And far from reaching Trump's goal of 1 million deportations by the end of his first year, DHS says that they've done just over a half of that and expect to hit less than 600,000 by the deadline. But that also, as you have the New York Times saying that those numbers are slightly misleading, right? Since they count people who were turned back at the border and other ports of entry as deportations, even if they never lived inside of the United States. And so ICE has already removed its acting director and top deportation officials twice. Well, now, according to reports, the White House is about to reassign at least a dozen ICE regional directors, around half the agency's leadership, and replace many of them with Border Patrol officials. And that, apparently, because Border Patrol have a reputation for being much, much more aggressive than ICE. Whereas ICE, is known for conducting these time-intensive, targeted operations that go after specific people that they've been investigating. CBP, they prefer these big, sweeping raids that often scoop up the wrong people, cause panic, and provoke protests. And they've actually been behind some of the craziest scenes we've seen in recent months, like when agents rappelled from a Black Hawk helicopter into an apartment building as families slept in Chicago, or like when they jumped out of a rental truck and swarmed a Home Depot Depot parking lot in LA, arresting more than a dozen people. So as one DHS official told NBC, the mentality is CBP does what they're told and that the administration thinks ICE isn't getting the job done, so CBP will do it. Right? So now with all of this, according to Fox News, the ICE directors being replaced are in Los Angeles, San Diego, Phoenix, Denver, Portland, Philadelphia, El Paso, and New Orleans. And reportedly, that list was compiled by Corey Lewandowski, one of Kristi Noem's advisors, and Greg Bovino, the Border Patrol sector chief in Chicago. Also, Bovino's an interesting name to bring up because last week he was filmed throwing what appears to be a tear gas canister into a crowd of protesters in Chicago, which may have actually been illegal because earlier in the month, a federal judge issued a temporary restraining order blocking agents from using excessive force against protesters there. And that actually wasn't the only time, right? CBP's deployed tear gas against people in Chicago over and over again recently. Now, with that, you had DHS trying to defend itself, claiming that Bovino had been hit in the head by a rock and that agents warned people to back up before using the gas. But whatever the case may be, you had the judge summoning him before the court today to explain his and his agents' actions, and it didn't really seem to go well for him. Or with the judge first grilling him about a number of incidents where tear gas was deployed allegedly without warning, including one time on Saturday just before a Halloween parade. We're saying kids dressed in Halloween costumes walking to a parade do not pose an immediate threat to the safety of a law enforcement officer. They just don't. And then adding more generally, the warning has to be, I'm going to deploy tear gas. The warning really has to be, include what it is that you're going to do before you do it and allow people time to comply. Then actually ordered him to provide all use of force reports and body cam footage since September 2nd by the end of the week. And then after chastising Bovino himself for not wearing a camera, he promised to begin doing so and to make sure that his agents do as well. But then finally, you had the judge ordering him to actually meet with her every weekday until their next hearing and recount to her everything that happened that day. Warning, Halloween is on Friday. I do not want to get violation reports from the plaintiffs that show that agents are out and about on Halloween where kids are present and tear gas is being deployed. And so for now, it feels like we're watching alongside this judge for what, if anything, happens from now till Halloween. But of course, in the meantime, I'd love to know your thoughts, opinions, and reactions to this, as well as the big cuts and changes we're seeing with ICE. And then we're gonna keep on diving in a minute, but first let me say, if your coffee tastes like disappointment and survival, this is your sign. For today's sponsor, Trade Coffee, they're here to save your mornings and your sanity. Trade's the #1 destination for discovering coffee that you'll actually love, whether you're a hot cup loyalist, cold brew fanatic, or seasonal pumpkin spice defender. And right now, they're offering an insane deal, 50% off a 1-month trial at drinktrade.com/DeFranco. Right, and here's how it works. You take a quick quiz and Trade matches aligned with Jeff Bezos' interests. Right, and so in one piece, for example, the Post praised the military's effort to develop a new generation of small nuclear reactors, writing, it's a worthy gamble that could provide benefits far beyond its military applications. But also, they didn't let readers know that Bezos' Amazon last year purchased a stake in a company that is currently developing that kind of reactor for the military. Right, and that is, they didn't disclose that Bezos himself has a stake in a Canadian firm that's trying to advance nuclear fusion technology. And in another piece, the Post urged DC officials to move faster in greenlighting self-driving cars, writing, safety is a phony excuse for slamming the brakes on autonomous vehicles. With that coming less than 3 weeks after the Amazon-owned autonomous car company Zoox had announced DC would be its next market. And then finally, in the third piece, you had the Post defending Trump's decision to demolish the East Wing of the White House without going through the normal approval process. And there, they failed to mention the fact that Amazon is a major corporate donor for Trump's ballroom project. Or at least I'll say it first because they did add an acknowledgement of Amazon's contribution after the fact. But one, this was only after a faculty member at Columbia Journalism School commented on a social media post and asked about it. And two, they didn't flag the change as a correction or offer any sort of clarification to readers. Right, and of course, all of this, it's just the latest controversy sparking concern around the Post editorial independence or lack thereof. Well, definitely not limited to. I think there's been a heightened focus since last year. For example, Bezos blocked an endorsement of Kamala Harris for the presidency, with Bezos instead publishing his own opinion piece explaining the decision and conceding, when it comes to the appearance of conflict, I am not an ideal owner of the Post. Right, and then in February, Bezos announced that the Post opinion page would start focusing on 2 main priorities, personal liberties and free markets, saying, we'll cover other topics too, of course, but viewpoints opposing those pillars will be left to be published by others. And that led to 1, the top opinion page editor, as well as other editors, columnists, and contributors to quit. And then 2, you had some 75,000 people canceling their subscriptions to the paper, which added to the roughly 250,000 who did so after they blocked the Harris endorsement. And with all that said, I will also say that we are largely talking about the editorial board and the opinion section here. And so the Post generally otherwise remains a super solid source of information, but you have more and more asking, will that always be the case? But that's also not where the Bezos news ends, because we got to talk about Amazon and AI. Because for a few years now, we've heard plenty of anecdotal evidence of people losing their jobs because of AI. But now, we're really seeing that happening at a massive scale for some of the biggest companies in the US. But just today, Amazon announced that it would be laying off 14,000 corporate workers. And while, of course, Amazon, they're a huge corporation, that still represents 4% of its entire corporate workforce. And that cut, despite the fact that Amazon's already thriving ahead of the anticipated holiday boom. Just last quarter, Amazon reported reported a $167.7 billion in revenue. That's an increase of 13%. And that says the company's net income surged by 35% to $18.2 billion. In fact, Amazon's doing so well right now, you even had Beth Galetti, the SVP of People Experience and Technology, addressing it in a memo to employees, writing, "Some may ask why we're reducing roles when the company is performing well. Across our businesses, we're delivering great customer experiences every day, innovating at a rapid rate, and producing strong business results." But then going on to make it clear that AI is the overarching force that drove this decision. Right, and with that, pointing to a memo that Amazon CEO sent back in June that warned of upcoming staffing reductions due to efficiency gains from using AI, with her then adding, "What we need to remember is that the world is changing quickly. This generation of AI is the most transformative technology we've seen since the internet, and it's enabling companies to innovate much faster than ever before." With her then going on to argue that the layoffs are necessary for Amazon to continue, quote, "shifting resources to ensure we're investing in our biggest bets and what matters most to our customers' current and future needs." Right, and while a major move from one of the most dominant companies in the country is very standout, Amazon's far from alone here. I mean, just in the last few months, you had Microsoft laying off 15,000 employees, with experts widely speculating that the cuts were driven in large part by the company's efforts to expand its investments in AI. And then last month, you had Salesforce slashing 4,000 from its workforce, a move that came just months after the CEO said that AI was doing 50% of the work at the software company. And again, this is just the beginning. Plenty of other major corporations, they're also predicting AI-related layoffs in the near future. I mean, Goldman Sachs, they sent a memo earlier this month warning employees to expect job cuts despite skyrocketing profits as the bank integrates AI into more of its operations. And hell, we're already seeing reports that Amazon's planning another round of corporate layoffs in January after the busy season. You know, with all this, while I think that a lot of people kind of understand that this is going to be incredibly disruptive and we're going to see more and more layoffs, I think a lot of people kind of understand that in the abstract. I don't think our people or our economy or social structure
Not
are
quite
ready
Sephora. I went
for
to
the true
Ulta
shakeup that
and
we
I
are
went to
eventually
Sally's
going to see.
today.
And I'm also worried
Because
that we're
Ryder
gonna
wants
see
his
it
hair
sooner
white,
than we think.
so
And
we'll
next up
probably do
today,
that
we
in a
should talk
bit.
about how Donald Trump
Ryder's
is
gonna
opening up
holler at me when he
1.5
wants it done.
acres of
We should
Alaskan
probably do it
wilderness to
tonight though,
oil
Ryder, because I want to
and
go
gas
see the
frac.
movie
The entire
tomorrow.
coastal plain of the Arctic National
Cool.
Wildlife
Thank you.
Refuge, which is one of the largest virtually untouched expanses of wilderness in the U.S. Land that's also considered sacred to some local
How you doing,
indigenous
Blade?
communities, and it's home to wildlife
Catching
including
up on
polar bears,
news,
caribou,
doing makeup.
whales,
It's my
and
first
seal.
time doing
And underneath the
makeup.
surface, there are believed to be billions of barrels
For a
of
while.
crude
I've been
oil.
sick
And that
the
is
last
just one
several
of the
days.
reasons you had Interior Secretary Doug Burgum saying
But
last
we got
week,
this new palette
Alaska
I'm
is
excited
open
to
for
use.
business. Right, he also
It
announced
has a
oil
bunch
and
of
gas
colors I
lease sale
really
of the
like.
National Petroleum Reserve, which is the first
Bless
sale
you,
in
Ryder.
the 23 million acre area since 2019. He also confirmed the approval of a road through the Eisenbeck National Wildlife Refuge, which on one hand will help connect a remote town with an airport that could be used for emergency medical evacuations, but also, right, according to critics, it'll cause irreparable harm to wildlife as well as many Alaska Native tribes that rely on hunting and fishing for food. But also, those impacts might be small in comparison to the department also reissuing necessary permits to establish the Ambler Road project, because that's a controversial proposal for a 211-mile industrial road across northwestern Alaskan Arctic, including 26 miles of gates of the Arctic National Park. And according to the National Wildlife Refuge Association, that road will endanger more than 200,000 migratory birds that cross through the refuge annually, as well as other wildlife. And again, that's before considering it'll threaten multiple indigenous tribes that rely on the area for hunting and food, which is then a big reason why at least 39 of Alaska's interior villages and 37 tribes have opposed the project. But also, despite that, the state's congressional representatives are in favor of it. And they've argued that it's necessary to access a copper deposit believed to be worth around $7 billion, as well as other valuable minerals, including cobalt and zinc. You know, currently, it's not clear exactly how this is going to play out. Major oil companies have previously passed on drilling in the Arctic National Wildlife, largely because of how expensive it was, as well as at least some concerns about backlash. And actually with that, some major banks have committed to not financing drilling in the refuge. And then, of course, you've got environmental groups expecting to file lawsuits to try to block any future drilling from
Oh, sweet. This has a mirror. Nice.
Alaska Wilderness League, whose executive director said in a statement, "The Arctic Refuge is the crown jewel of our public land system. During a government shutdown, when everyday Americans are left without basic services, President Trump has chosen to double down on failed policies that prioritize oil corporations over people and data. Opening the entire coastal plain of the Arctic Refuge to drilling would destroy one of the most ecologically significant landscapes on Earth." And then with that, noting that the land is sacred for the Wiccan people who have, quote, stewarded its resources for millennia. Though also with that, I will say that local indigenous groups are somewhat divided, with some supporting oil and gas projects, noting that the associated taxes have in the past funded basic services such as schools and running water. So there's a lot at play here, but the bottom line is some of Alaska's most pristine nature, it may soon never be the same again. But that, my friends, is the end of today's show. Thank you for watching. I've got more for you to watch right here if you want to click or tap, or I've got links in the description. But whatever you do, let me just say, I love yo faces, and I'll see you right back here tomorrow.
Hi, BB. How are you doing, love? Hi, Red Liger.
You were at a rally.
How are you?
I was
You're crafty,
last
right?
night. It was.
I forget sometimes. I think that's crafty. You got the VIP badge, so I think it would be you. BB, I want to give you the VIP badge, but your mushroom cluster looks so cool. I don't want it to take it away. What perks do you get with VIP? Kind of feeling miserable and empty and satisfied? Miserable and empty and satisfied all at the same time? Your mushroom cluster. Yeah, I don't want to get rid of it. Let's see. Ba-da-dee-da-da-dum, ba-da-dee-da-da-dum. Ooh, chicken rice soup sounds so good right now.
Nope. Yes, oh, nice. Perhaps it's just
It was frozen, so it works. Yeah, for sure. Alright. This palette is so cute. I love it. I'm starting with this color on my lids. Probably on the lower lid, too. It tastes a little freezer burnt. Glad this soup was great. I'm sure the other flavors balance it out. How's the Cassie Catnip? I am good. I'm still sick, but I went to the store and I got some things to make myself feel better. So I got some like new skincare stuff and I got medicine and yes, I got a COVID test and it's not testing positive for COVID. Ryder still needs to take his test, but my test is negative. So. How are you guys? How's everyone doing? Palette I got is so cute. I love it. I love the design. shade I'm using right now is called Glow Pressure. It's got the purpley blues that I like. Where did my new concealer go? I got this new lip gloss too. This one was a free gift at the store. That's nice. Ooh, it tastes good. Or smells good, rather. I'm not like eating it, but that's nice. It's very nice. I like it a lot. Where did I put it? Here's the concealer I got. It's cute. It's a Benefit concealer. Boing. It's like a little eraser. It's cute. I'm just gonna use it with my... Wait, I think I got a beauty blender. I don't know where it went though. That's okay, I'll find it later. This one was the one the person at the store recommended for like the best for matte stuff, but I honestly think I might want to start using like a dewy foundation or concealer, because I just like it how it looks more when I'm like moisturized, you know? But this will come in handy for certain things. But they recommended the MAC one, so I might try that one next. Or I've really been wanting to try the Milk products. I don't know if you guys are familiar with Milk Cosmetics, but they look cool. And a lot of them are like, they have like blush, but it's like a cream instead of a powder. A lot of times, like by the time you do primer and foundation and concealer and powder and contour, if you're using like all powders, you can like look cakey. But the reason I got this one is because it said it was like not cakey, it was a cakeless concealer. All the men who don't wear makeup in the chat are like, bitch, what are you talking about? Then it's not for you. I think I do have a percentage of women in my audience though. I don't know what percentage, I'd have to check my analytics, but... Okay. Used the matte shade. Now I want to go in with this shimmery one. Hey Ryder, behind that laptop I think there is like a spray bottle of rose water. Can you hand it to me?
Are you talking to me?
Yes, behind that laptop there is a spray bottle of rose water. Can you hand it to me? Yes. Thank you. I almost caught it and I dropped it and then it rolled away and now I have to get up. I'm just Car spotted. Vroom vroom. You meant cat, didn't you? He's kind of fast like a car sometimes.
Alright, wait. Real quick. Pow. Real quick. Alright, real quick. We're gonna switch it. Where's the guy? Where's the guy? Alright, where is it? Which one is it?
Hi, Spirit Wolf.
No, on the bottom right down. Not this one either. Which one on the bottom, right? Well, there's one line. There's one line. I want to pick like two more. You said no bottom, so. It's not the bottom. So the left side. You think it's gonna be good.
This music goes hard. It goes hard in the face.
Okay, say one or two. Well, I think you're right. Oh, okay. Wasn't look like you're right. Yeah. Yeah, it's just like those last lines are like exponentially bigger as well. You know what I mean? It goes from it being a 20x to a 50x to an 100x.
need to find my eyeliner.
You want to try her level? We'll play some other time.
I might have misplaced it. That's okay. I got this bracelet today. Hi Steven, how are you? Hi Tim. Okay, crap, I don't know where my eyeliner is, so maybe we'll just do like a little shadow liner thing. Eepy kitty, so eepy, so cozy.
I don't play any sauce.
Unless you're at the casino with me sitting in your lap.
Orange on 3. Ooh.
He didn't hear me. He's like, I don't play slots, but if I was like, I want to play a slot at the casino, he would follow me.
You don't play slots.
Unless I'm sitting on your lap at the casino.
Unless you're sitting on my lap at the casino.
Yep. Gotta keep the boys honest, you know?
Dude sitting on your lap or maybe?
I'll take a dude sitting on my lap. I'll take a rider sitting on my lap, actually. I'll take 2, actually. But only 2 for the day. I can't deal with 2 all the time.
She's saying she likes it when I sit on her lap. I'm like, okay. We can just, you know how at the casino they have some of those slot machines, they have like those crazy like triple wide chairs? Yeah. We'll just fit the whole Mitch Jones server on one of those chairs.
Yes! Meetup? Mitch Jones meetup? When?
Oh, duel. Do it, Mitch. Say nothing. Okay, 4's out of 3. Nice.
I only play slots when it's not my money. Same. I only play slots when it's not my money and I'm sitting on someone's lap or someone's sitting on my lap. People like when Ryder's playing poker, I'll be like hanging out sometimes and people ask me if I play and I'm like, only when it's not my money.
All I do is play poker, buddy. That's what I do. I'm literally sweating it. I hide one and then I see one. I'm like, okay, it just doesn't have to be the other one. It's like a double sweat. I
like how the near music auto plays.
Duel. Alright, yeah.
Hear that cough again. Oh, I should probably put him in my title. Ryder's on Twitch too.
It's not a 2.
Because I'm not muted the mic all the time.
Oh, I had.
I'll put his thing in the title though, so you can hang out and say hi in his stream also.
Right.
I'm live on Twitch, Kick, and YouTube also, and TikTok. Hi Bryce, good to see you.
20.
Oh my god, I have to mute.
This is good.
He's you gotta join his stream to see what he's yelling about. Thank you. It's a very like dusty rose kind of purpley color. My phone is at 1%, guys. I gotta get off TikTok for a second and plug in my phone. I mean, just a second. It's gonna die. Well, shit. I don't know where the charger is. And it's dead. And it's dead. It's okay. You got the charger over there, buddy, or no? I'll take that as a no. Is this one alive? This one
It's like I'm glad that someone noticed me doing it.
No way this is real. What the fuck is this thing?
No. What I do is like I'm watching Kyle, but then like I'll just see one dice, and then I'll like it'll make I'll just be thinking like the other dice has to be anything but that number.
What gives him the right?
It's like a double spread. It's like a double spread.
I'm insulted that this thing is so cute. Ryder, please take a moment to acknowledge this Australian Shepherd. He doesn't look real.
That is a very cute dog.
He doesn't even look real. I followed him on TikTok. Or no, it's a girl. It's a girl. I followed her on TikTok. That TikTok has 20 million likes. I understand why. She's a freaking looker, man. What the freak?
We played poker. We played heads up poker against each other. Oh yeah, no. You had a good chance to take my money. You had a good chance to take my money. Yeah, you did good. You did good. You did great. You were kind of good. Yeah. Like.
I'm weaker than before. My stupid brain thinks that I need you. I'm weaker than before. It's gotta be AI, lol. I don't trust anything anymore, but it was so cute! I followed them. Sometimes I look at my dog and I'm like, this has gotta be AI, but it's in front of my face.
Yeah, I don't want to say anything, but Crab seemed, yeah, Crab seemed crap.
When I'm my stupid brain.
I turned off.
So you gotta yell that much, dog? You're on my mic.
I turned off. It's because I said 777.
Go troll him in chat, guys. Go troll that guy. Ryder0G on Twitch. Go troll him. You have my permission.
Alright.
Meme on him.
Sir.
Alright, I'm going live again on TikTok with my 19% on this one.
I'm joking. I put $50 on Craft when you said that. I fucking removed it so fast. Dude, imagine though hitting Craft with $50 on it. That'd be so fun.
I'm live on another device? No,
Oh,
I'm not.
It was.
How did I get to 2K likes on
Saving
here?
money.
When did I get to 2K likes on TikTok? Thank you, guys.
You knew it, by the way. Hey,
When
Kyle, did
I
you know that
was
it's
young-
7?
I gotta play another song.
Kyle.
I gotta play something
It's 7
upbeat.
now. It's 7 now while I was off. this guy
false
just walked
lashes
over
instead.
No!
Thank you, Bruce. This song, it actually just came out. Let me link it in chat.
I just got permission to troll,
Yeah, I sent people to go troll you. Yeah. Yeah. I did send people to troll you because you're yelling. So I was like, go troll this guy, man. He's yelling in my living room. But yeah, that is the song. It just came out. It's really nice. Hagali, Ibari, and the Forest. It's really nice. Yeah, go troll that Ryder0G, guys, on Twitch, guys. Twitch.tv/Ryder0G, go troll him. Twitch.tv/Ryder0G, go troll. Troll. Friendly trolling. No mean trolling in this chat. Okay. Alright, I got my glue. Why are all these boxes so hard to open? What's wrong with me? Ah. Ryder0G. It's also in the title on my Twitch. I mean, you could give him some spicy trolling. It doesn't have to be nice trolling. But he might ban you. You're not banning anyone? Don't say that. They're gonna test your limits. OmniJake's gonna come in and burn down your Minecraft server and he's gonna hold you to that. I'm not banning anyone. Alright, you said you weren't banning anyone. I got the tummy rumblies that only hands can satisfy. Guys, I never put my eyelashes on properly. I see these girls on like these makeup tutorials and they have these like lash tweezers and they just like plop them on perfectly. And I'm like, I'm gonna stab my eye out with that. I don't know how you do that. Hi Kim, good to see you. How are you doing, baby? Bro, I don't have my mascara either. What the fuck is it?
Three left. Which one is it, Kyle?
Kyle.
Anyway, which one is it? Three left. Oh! Yeah! You went center and I fucking was like, okay, what's center? Oh my god. Yeah, that's why I thought you guys.
Kim, thank you for the Go Popular. Thank you.
Yeah, no, that's what I thought you guys. That's what I thought you guys.
BB is the best. You better be nice to him or I'll fight you. Try your back.
You called it. Kyle, you called that one. You called it exactly what that one was. Alright, all I want you to tell me, Kyle, is which side is it on? So on top, left, right, or bottom? It's over here? I think you're right. Oh, you really might be right. You were right, it's on the left. You're really good at this. What the fuck? Alright, which one do you think it is? Okay. We're at 12 bucks.
Okay. Kim, thank you so much for the finger heart and the heart puff and the love you so much. Thank you. I appreciate it.
It's not.
How did you this way? I'm in my 90s right now. Blue pocket. There's no blue with it.
Oh, I want to so bad. It's worth a whole extra $12. God damn it, you knew it. I just listened to it.
Okay. I think this is good enough for my makeup for now. Gotta go to the casino with Kyle. You're not in Colorado already, remember?
Imagine you could see how I actually like
Okay. Okay, where's my lip gloss?
Alright, don't even look, Kyle. Just say, is the vine in the left or right?
Hi, Tice. Good to see you.
Okay, well, I'll pick.
Tice, I want to come visit you. It looks so pretty out there.
It's not middle.
Tice, I miss you.
It's not middle.
Everybody go follow Tice James on TikTok. He's a wonderful artist. I helped him vend out at a music festival once. Left or right? Right.
Is the bomb on the right or pick right?
I don't know, man. This is too much responsibility. I don't want to blow you up. I don't know. I trust Kyle's judgment.
You trust Kyle's judgment?
Yeah. I default to Kyle picks.
What'd you say?
I default to Kyle picks. I have some leftover beef stroganoff, or not beef stroganoff, bison stroganoff I can heat up. So hungry.
No!
I also got these earrings today that are kind of cool. Why are you kicking me? Why are you kicking me? He kicked me. He kicked me. Someone get this guy. Anyone want to take care of this guy for me? Hit me in the back. Brother. He's so cute. I love him. Okay, we really gotta play this Roblox thing next time, guys. It's just gonna be a short stream today, though. 'Cause, I'm just gonna get off and do some other things. But we're gonna do a little Twitch raid if you guys want to get in chat. I'll also find my other makeup things, so next time the makeup is a little less scuffed. Because it's a little scuffed there. Just a tiny bit. It's okay though. It'll do. I'm still a little bit sick, so not trying to do like full glam or anything like that, but I did want to try out my lashes, so. But yeah, get in the Twitch chat, guys. Twitch.tv/CassieCatnip. We're gonna do a raid. Please and thank you. Also make sure you subscribe on YouTube if you haven't yet already. I'm grinding that, trying to get monetization, so that would help a lot. But yeah, we're gonna do the raid before the ad starts. The ad starts in 2 minutes, so. Twitch.tv/CassieCatnip, guys. Get in the raid, please. Please and thank you. Send me a little surprise. Where? Cash App? Thank you, Kim. My phone is dead, so I can't check right now, but thank you. I love you guys. Thank you for hanging out with me. I'll be back soon. Maybe later tonight. Maybe not. It's already 9 p.m., so no promises. But, yes, I will be back soon. I love you guys. Lucas. Okay, raid starting in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, raid going out. Thanks for hanging out, guys. I will be back soon, very soon. Mountain time zone doesn't exist hardly. I know, like I'm one of the few people in it. Okay, all right. Yeah, it's like 11 p.m. for you, right, Kim? Okay. Bye, guys.
No, what you said.
Oh my God, Ryder's Euro G. Wait, did we do the raid? Did it work? I think it worked. It didn't show up on the chat end. I think it worked. Wait. That's weird. I don't know why it's not showing up in his chat.
Oh, it's not.
Oh well, we'll do it again for good measure. Okay, bye guys.
唯一行きつけの居酒屋は潰れへんな店に変わったりあんなに好きだった人が結婚して子供も生まれたりその後シングルマザーになり久しぶりに連絡が来たり ATM まで行って金貸した脚本家の彼は今や売れっ子だけどあの時のなけなしの5000円はまだ帰ってきてなかったり生きてりゃいろいろあるよな生きてりゃいろいろあるよなそりゃそうだよなそれそういう 父の腹にがんが見つかりなんかやけに食らったりいつ死んでもいいとか言ってた俺も検査に行ってみたり小3だったあの生意気な親友の子供は今じゃ高校に上がり親の金くすね今度向かっていたりこのペースで時が過ぎるなら一人ぼっちで死ぬ可能性が現実味を帯びて人知れずポツンと死ぬなら夏場は嫌だななんて思ったり生きてりゃいろいろあるよな